Welcome, mamas. Go ahead and find a comfortable seat. I do recommend having a pillow, especially for today's class. We're going to use it in some of the poses. So if you don't have one, just grab one. This is even like the pillow from my bed, so it doesn't have to be anything specific or fancy. But go ahead and sit on that so your hips are elevated. You've got some lift in your pelvis, space in your belly for baby. Nice open chest, shoulders relaxed, and you can close your eyes down. And just take a few breaths. Now, whatever you've done before this class, whatever you need to do after this class, really stay outside of this window of time as you just arrive into this sacred, connected space between you and baby. Your breath, your body, their growing body, knowing that they can hear and feel everything that you're about to work through in this class. And keeping your eyes closed, you can roll them up and in towards the center of your forehead. This creates a direct line of communication down to baby. So it connects to your pituitary gland, which then speaks all the way down through to your womb, to baby's home. Let the hands come into prayer in front of the heart. Feel free to rub the hands together if you like to wake up the nerve endings in the hands, generate a little heat, and then connect the thumbs deeply into your sternum. Chest stays lifted. Big deep inhale in. Filling up your body with oxygen. Exhale that air out. We tune in our class with the sounds Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Honoring the wisdom around us, all the information that we receive, that we look for, that we gather from our resources, from our community. But then also Guru Dev Namo, that wisdom inside, that inner mama instinct that lies within you, knowing that you have all the information, all the necessary qualities and aspects to be exactly what your child is looking for. Let's tune in with these sounds 3 times together. Big deep inhale. Om Namo. Take another breath. Gurudev Namo. Om Namo. Gurudev Namo. Om Namo. Gurudev Namo. Full deep breath in, suspending at the top for a moment. As you exhale, just let the hands rest back onto your knees. Keep the eyes closed down. Take a moment to let you and baby soak in those sounds together. Letting them be comforted by the sound of your own voice, knowing that they're learning your expression, your sound. And that brings them this state of peace, of comfort. So just let them absorb your own voice for a moment. Take a full deep breath in. Exhale the air out. You can choose to stay with your eyes closed or open them here for a moment. So as we step into the space of pregnancy and motherhood, it's important we recognize that there will be sacrifice, right? It's not, it's just part of it, right? Even right now, your body is sacrificing. Your organs are like moving up and giving space for the baby to grow and develop, and your body is having changes and effects to sacrifice and create more space and more support for baby. And likewise, when baby comes, there is going to be a part of you that will have to sacrifice. And that doesn't mean that you need to lose yourself. It's really important that we create a solid commitment to ourselves as women, as mothers, so that that satnam, that identity, that essence stays, right? I'm not saying just drop everything and give all to the baby, right? That's not quite healthy either. But there is going to be this healthy element of sacrifice that will have to come in, and that we do need to embrace and support, because we know that those sacrifices are so deeply worth it. Your heart is opening up to a love that is bigger than ever, whether this is your first child or your fifth child, right? You're making even more space in your heart for this being, and that requires so much of you, so much, right? Loving big requires big energy, big effort. And so throughout this class today, we're really going to focus on that element of sacrifice and loving it, right? Enjoying the moments where you need to wake up at 2 in the morning to feed them, right? Knowing that sacrifice is pure love, right? And enjoying the moments when, you know, you're in labor and there's intensity and sensation, and you know that's bringing baby closer, right? Like all these things that may or may not come, right? Because everybody's story is different too. It's not like, you know, you're always going to have to wake up at 2 a.m. because so and so did, and I did, and whoever. Like, we all are going to have our own sacrifices, and that's going to look different, but we all will have them, right? That's part of it, right? So let's embrace that and open up our hearts and open up our minds as well to really be flexible and be adaptable, and let those sacrifices be almost like an offering, like a higher energy, a divine sacrifice, not just a you know, a taking of energy, but more like you're pouring so much out that it also is recycling back into you. Yeah. So let's start today. Go ahead and move yourself off of your pillow. We'll start in a child's pose, and I'd like you to place your pillow sideways if you have a big one. And go ahead and take wide knees. Your arms will come in front of your pillow. It's kind of like an open hands and knees position, and then take your hips back towards child's pose. Ideally resting your forehead onto the pillow, so your hips might have a little bit more room and belly has more room here, yeah? If you're still early on, you can take the hips all the way down, that's fine. You can readjust your pillow however you need to be comfortable to settle in here for a few long deep breaths. And child's pose is one of the biggest poses of sacrifice, of surrender, because you've got head down below the heart, right? You're giving away the logic and letting feeling take over, letting the emotions of love take over more than the logistics of what is correct or not correct, right? Knowing that if it comes from the heart, it's correct. Just take 2 more breaths here. One more big deep inhale. Exhale. Now inhale, start to rise up onto your hands and knees. Keep your left arm down and open up your right arm, like a big twist, opening your chest. And then exhale, you'll press your hips back towards that child's pose. You might not come all the way down, it's up to you. Inhale forward, you'll do the left arm up, big twist, big chest. Exhale, hips back. Moving like this. Inhale, that opening stretch through the whole torso, through the whole shoulder, chest. Exhale, hips back. Inhale, taking it forward and opening, and exhaling back. Keep your eyes closed, rolled up and in. Just flow with your breath. Let your chest open. Let that energy of surrender, of sacrifice start to express from deep within your heart. Big breath, expansive movement. Keep flowing here a few more times, back and forth. Move as slow or as fast as feels right in your body. Making this your last one, you'll settle back in that child's pose again with your hips as far back as comfortable, head down on your pillow. Just rest a few breaths. Send that oxygen deep into baby's home. Letting them absorb the benefits of your movements, of your stretching, your expression. All of that circulates into them. We'll begin again to inhale, rise up onto hands and knees. You may need to transition your pillow further forward now, depending on the length of your torso. So you'll inhale your hips all the way forward and they will rest onto your pillow, and your belly should be coming up and over your pillow, yeah? So adjust yourself however you need to, and then you'll reach your hips back on the exhale. They might not go all the way back here, yeah? Inhale forward, you'll relax those hips down. Let them soften, lift your chest. Feel that support on the pelvis there. And then exhale back. Continuing like this. And you can breathe as deeply as possible, and you can really take it slow if you need a few breaths coming forward. Feel free to stay there. Let that abdomen really stretch out. Let that low back get some relief. Knowing that with those sacrifices that your body is making, like the expansion, the stretching, the extra pressure that it's receiving in different places, you also have the capacity to support those sacrifices, right? To give energy and nourish them through movement, through breath, through whatever it is that relaxes. So keeping that element of self-care, of self-awareness, because when mama's healthy, so is baby, right? So it's important that the sacrifice doesn't take over. You don't just let the back pain rule your life, or you let the nausea take your whole day over, right? Finding some way to provide some comfort. And sometimes it is what it is, right? The sacrifice is what it is. But giving yourself opportunity to attempt some care, to attempt some wellness and support for those sacrifices, such as this movement here in your yoga practice. Take it a few more times back and forth. And this will be your last one, really settling in, and then finding your way back again into that child's pose or puppy pose. Readjust your pillow to come with you however you need. Settle those hips back, drop the head down, and surrender in. Just breathe in this space. Inhale, start to return up onto those hands and knees. Your pillow now can move to the side, just placing it wherever it can be comfortable. You'll come into a normal tabletop position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Go ahead and bring this right leg a little forward and transition so that your ankle can cross over your foot, or over your knee. Your toes will then tuck onto the floor, yeah? So it's like a figure four position here on all fours. Moving now into cat-cow. You'll inhale, soften your belly, arching chin and chest lift up. And then exhale, rounding chin to chest, tucking the pelvis underneath. Inhale is that softening. You'll get that little stretch in that right hip as well. Exhale, round. Just continue with your breath. Eyes roll up and in so you maintain that inner communication down to baby. Every time you round, you can almost say hello to them, like you're looking at them through those closed eyes, seeing them down there in the womb, growing, stretching, moving with you. Think about 3 more rounds here with this right side, stretching and expanding. Begin to come back into a neutral position. You can extend this left leg back and then slide the right shin around so you rise up on to your right hand with your left arm up, and take some big circles here. Opening your chest, opening that left side. Just breathe long and deep. You can circle your arm any direction. If you're circling one way, maybe go the other way. Big breath. Opening through that chest and then starting to come all the way back onto hands and knees. Transition your way back. And just wag your hips a little side to side. Let's go on to elbows. Give our wrists a little relief. And just wag out those hips like a little puppy. You can hear mine barking in the background. Just wag those hips. Give some relief onto the pelvis. Our pelvic bones are really giving a lot of themselves in pregnancy. They're expanding, their ligaments are stretching so the baby can come through there with grace, with ease. So we want to really encourage that relaxation in the pelvis, and some small movements like this, just like wagging your tail, really helps a gentle mobility of the pelvis. It's very supportive for labor. Gently start to return back up onto those hands here. And then slide that left knee forward and tuck your ankle across your right knees now. So tucking that toe under for support. Hands are still underneath you. Inhale, arching, tailbone, chin, and chest. And then exhale, rounding. Breathing and moving at your pace. Feeling that stretch and expansion through the left hip now. Keep the eyes closed, rolled up and in, always communicating that presence, that awareness down into baby. Letting them know that these movements are as much for you as they are for them. Right? And many things that we will do in our motherhood, in our journey, in our pregnancy, in our birth is as much for them as it is for us. Right? The efforts we put, the sacrifices we do, we're also birthing ourselves as mothers. And even if you already have kids, you are birthing yourselves as a new mother. Right? With every child, there's more depth to your motherhood, to your growth. So know that these sacrifices are not just for them, they're for you as well. Take about 3 more rounds on the side. Or however many you're moving through at your pace. Take your time, no need to rush. Eventually, you'll start to come back through to neutral. Go ahead and extend this right leg back so you can release the left foot and shin slides out to the side. Planting the right foot down as you open that right arm up. Big circles here with that right arm. Breathing, expanding, opening your chest, opening up to more love than you've ever experienced in your life. Big, expansive movements, whichever direction you're going. Just flip it, go the other way. Keep breathing, send that oxygen in, really opening through the front of the body. You can even press the pelvis forward a little if you want a little back bend here, if that feels good and supportive. And then eventually starting to come back through hands and knees. Returning onto those elbows, and let's do our little hip wag side to side. Just shake out those hips gentle. Little hip wag. Giving that little relief on the low back, on the pelvis. And actually on the hips as well here. Very gentle relief, but super supportive. Sometimes the little things make all the difference. Go ahead and inhale. Start to rise back up onto your hands and knees. We're standing all the way up now, so spread your fingers out wide. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips into a downward dog. Just for a moment here, you can pedal out the feet. Get some circulation back through the ankles, through the backs of the legs. Take some breaths. Just kind of walk out this position. Starting to come back through neutral with the legs. Keep both knees soft and make sure they're nice and wide as you walk your hands all the way back to meet your feet. Knees stay really bent here. Lots of space for belly as you drop the head down. And then continue walking your hands up your bent legs. Keep your head dropping down. Just using the support of the hands to rise your body all the way up to a standing position. Take the hands maybe onto the heart, onto baby, anywhere that feels good. Just breathe, connect, let that circulation start to flow back the other way in the body after the head was down. Taking a full deep breath in. Full breath out. We're going to come straight into our keep ups here today. So these keep up exercises are meant to be one of our main sacrificial trainings in our practice. And they train us to withstand sensation, to withstand challenge, to withstand difficulty, and know that there is so much meaning behind that difficulty, right? Like letting the power of where that's taking you be more than the power of the challenge itself. So let me get my timer, 3 minutes, because your surges will last no longer than 3 minutes in labor, yeah? So this is also a frame of reference to train your mind. It's really important we train our subconscious for labor because that's what takes over. Your conscious mind, out the window. What matters is the subconscious. So these kind of behaviors that we do regularly in class really build that sustainability, yeah? So bring your arms out to the sides. Our timer's already on. Elbows are straight. Your feet can be as wide as necessary. And we're gonna do our shoulders like side to side, like one shoulder forward, kind of like a little shimmy. Yeah, so it's like a shake in the shoulders. Your elbows stay straight and your arms stay as close to parallel. They'll move a little bit because your shoulders are moving. But just breathe here with those arms out, shoulders shimmy. You can have soft knees to support your body. Eyes are closed, rolled up and in. Breathe. Knowing that you are training so much more than your shoulders in this position. Yeah, this is not about your shoulders, it's about your mind. So the sensations come through, the shoulders start to feel sensitive, right? But your mind has the power to take that sensitivity and let it overrun the entire experience and be the leading guiding factor of what you're doing. Or the shoulders can just be kind of like a side watcher. Like they're watching the truth of the real experience, of the real meaning of what this challenge is bringing. Whether that's in labor, bringing your baby to earth, right? Bringing that baby right to your chest to connect with you and the beauty that that is. Or whether that's the challenge of motherhood, of whatever it is you're teaching them, helping them to grow through, letting them understand, and the difficulty that that is, right? It's hard to learn, it's hard to grow, it's hard to develop, it takes work. You're already halfway. Keep moving. Elbows as straight as they can go. Already teaching them through your sacrifice, for your willingness to allow these sensations, allow these challenges into your life and see the deeper meaning behind them. Yeah, not letting the challenge and the sacrifice take you over. Letting it be the experience of the deeper meaning, whatever that is. You got less than a minute. Don't give up, keep going. Shimmy those shoulders, elbows as straight as they can go. Breathe deeper, roll the eyes up and into baby. Let them help you, let them support you. The same way they're gonna help and support you in labor. You're a team, you're here to work together. You both want to be connected, to be together, to be healthy, to be well. That's everybody's goal here. 30 seconds. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Keep shaking those shoulders, elbows straight, don't give up. 15 seconds. Do whatever you gotta do. Hum a song, sing along, make some sounds. You can use your voice. Last little bit, don't give up. Inhale, those arms go straight up. Exhale, release them down. Eyes closed. Feel that big relief as that surge of energy stops, as that challenge settles, and the peace that comes as a result. Recognizing that every sacrifice has its beauty. Breathe. Just connect a few more breaths. Take a full deep inhale in. Big exhale out. You can take your hands onto your waist now. Keep your legs pretty wide here. And you're going to bring your right knee towards your left, pointing your toe, and then circle that leg around and out. Take a big step. So knee comes in, around, and a big step out. Just breathing however you need to and working through the ankle. So make sure you point that toe. This helps us with circulation in the body to move the ankles like so. And a little gentle movement on the hips too. Let this be pretty easy, pretty gentle, kind of sloppy. It doesn't have to be perfect. Right? Just the minimal amount of effort you need to bring that knee in and around and out. Relaxing our hips, but still strengthening and using our legs and ankles at the same time. You can always have your eyes open in the standing postures if you feel a little dizzy or disoriented. Or you can close them down if that feels more connected to baby. Just keep circling those legs like big, huge walks. A few more times each leg. Start to come back through the center with your wide legs. Release your hands down to the sides. Now you'll sway a little side to side. Let your arms just kind of twist with you. Eyes closed. Just release any tension in the body. Gentle twisting. Just kind of letting your body take you for a ride. Letting gravity just move those arms naturally. Releasing any tension through the entire arm span, through the shoulders, the chest. Breathe long and deep, keep swaying. Start to find your way back through the center here. And go ahead and lean your way towards a wall. Yeah, so I've got one right behind me, but if you have one on the side of you or whatever, just transition yourself towards your wall. Bring my camera up a little bit. We'll stretch through our shoulder and chest here. So start with your arm directly up the wall to the side. You start with your right arm, and then bring it a little bit diagonally back here. And then turn your chest and torso away from the wall gently until you feel a stretch on your shoulder. You might not turn very far. You might have really flexible shoulders and you can turn a lot, yeah? Take about 4 breaths here. Big breaths, just stretching that shoulder, opening the chest. It's a really good one to do when you're nursing as well. Since a lot of nursing is a forward motion, it's important we open our chest back. One more big breath. Now you can turn your chest back to a neutral position so you release that pressure. Take the arm now completely out to the side on the wall. So the palm is planted, it's directly out to the side. And again, do that little turn. Notice how now this is working into a different area of the shoulder. 4 breaths. Breathing into that stretch, that relief on the chest. It's really good for the breasts as well. Breathe. One more big deep breath in. Exhale, gently turn the chest back towards the center again. Last one, you've got your low diagonal. So bring the hand down on a low diagonal. Keep the palm pressing onto the wall, and then again, turn your shoulder and chest. Getting that stretch, that opening. 4 breaths. Make sure your knees are softened so you're supporting your whole body and spine here. One more big deep breath. And exhale, come all the way back through the center. Release that arm. You can shake it out a little. And you might even notice how That shoulder seems to feel more dropped now than the left one. So let's even that out. Start with the left arm directly up to the ceiling and then walk it back on a little diagonal here. Gently begin to turn your chest away from the wall. We'll take 4 breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Two more full breaths. Last deep breath in. Big exhale out. Gently turn your chest back to the center here to get a little relief. Take the arm directly out to the side now. Completely out, palm is still pressing on the wall. Gently turn yourself now away again from your wall. Breathing 4 breaths. Opening through that chest. Opening through that heart. One more big deep breath in. Exhale out. Start to come back through the center here with the chest and go down onto that low diagonal. Planting the palm and then gently again turning away from your hand. 4 breaths. Last big deep breath in. Exhale, your body comes all the way to the center. Relax that left arm down and just feel the release in the chest. You can close your eyes, feel that opening. Feel like the arms have gotten even longer. Take a big deep inhale in. Exhaling out. Preparing now for our Khalsa way squat. So bending your knees, coming down to your mat, supporting yourself with your hands. We'll roll up that mat at least halfway. If you have a thick mat, halfway should be enough. If you have a thinner one, you might want to roll it all the way up. It's a nice big tight roll here with the mat. You've got a nice firm foundation to step your heels onto. Balls of the feet are onto the floor or the mat if you're facing the other direction. Feet are as wide as your shoulders, so nice wide position here. Khalsa way squats, we inhale those arms all the way up, palms pressing together. And then exhale, hands come through prayer down through the heart as you sit your hips all the way into the lowest position. Heels are elevated so your pelvis stays neutral here. Your palms then will connect onto the floor. About 50% of the weight comes into the hands. As you start to lift up your hips, keeping those knees bent, releasing your hands, keeping your head dropping down as you rise all the way up. Move through 15 of these squats at your own pace. If any mama is at home who's over 34 weeks and knows baby's feet are down, just do a half squat, reaching those arms up and coming onto the knees instead with the hands and rolling up from here. Go ahead and move with your breath. Big, full, expansive breathing as you work this full body experience of the squat. And when we're working our legs, our pelvis, our chest, our arms, our devotion, all in one movement. Getting relief into the spine, the low back. Make sure those knees stay bent as you rise up. So the work goes into the thighs and the strain doesn't go into the back. Continuing, just flowing at your pace through these squats. All 15 of them. Let this experience be like your own personal surrender, devotion, sacrifice to
your babies to their needs, their desires, knowing you're here to support and nourish and love them as they are, not as you want them to be. And that encourages and includes your birth, right? They know their birth plan. You made one up. They already know it, right? So trust them on that. Trust that they've got this figured out. No matter what it is that they've decided they want to come through to this world, you will support and nourish them for that. You will provide the sacrifices and the necessary commitments to make that happen. Continuing through those final squats. Move with your breath, move with your devotion. Whenever you do finish with your squats, take your time to just stand tall, placing the hands anywhere that feels good. Connecting with your heart, with baby, with their dreams and desires and your willingness to support them to make that happen. Take a big, deep inhale. Big, full exhale. Go ahead and step your way off of your mat that's rolled up and kick it out all the way long so that it comes flat again. We're going to sit all the way back down. So grab your pillow and utilize that to sit on as you come down into an easy cross-legged position with that support of your hips. We'll move through some gentle cat-cow here. And you've got the support on the hips to keep them elevated, and also the softening of sitting on a pillow so that we're working into the softening of our pelvic floor. So grab onto your shins with your hands. Inhale as you pull your chest and heart forward, and then exhale, rounding yourself back. Inhaling into that forward position and exhale, taking it back. And as you do this, take that visualization deep into your pelvis. So as you inhale, the pelvis expands, relaxes, softens the pelvic floor muscles. And then exhale, they naturally contract up and in and round back towards supporting baby. So inhale into that expansion, that relaxation. Exhale into that contraction, natural support up and in. Just continue like this. Keeping the visualization and the intention deep within your pelvis. Inhaling, relaxing. Exhaling, contracting. Know that your pelvic floor muscles do this naturally. Now we're just bringing extra awareness and support into them, but naturally this is what happens when you inhale and exhale. You're providing even more nourishment and support to those deep pelvic floor muscles in what they already do. Keep the eyes rolled up and in to maintain that interconnection, that communication through the baby. Keep rocking a few more times back and forth. Starting to come back through to the center. Take a big, deep inhale in. Big, deep exhale out. Just sit for a moment. Maybe bring the hands into your womb space. Connecting to baby. knowing that they are nurtured and cradled and supported in your body, knowing that you will also nurture and cradle and support them when they're here on earth. Take deep breath in. Big breath out. Moving towards our meditation. This meditation is ideally done sitting on your knees. So if it feels okay in your body, you can place yourself onto your knees, potentially using the pillow between your heels and hips for added comfort. If this position really doesn't feel good today, you can always sit in a regular cross-legged. Now this meditation is a challenging one, but it's short. And the purpose of it is to know the strength of sacrifice, right? So to know the power of giving yourself to something greater, right? Of giving yourself over to something that's not necessarily about you, right? And your children, as much as we feel like they're us in a different form, they're not, right? They're themselves. They're their own unique individual identification of a being, right? And so it's very important that we have this ability as mothers to drop a little bit of our ego, to drop a little bit of whatever it is that we hoped for or wanted from them. And it's hard because there are things that we dream about and aspire for, but at the same time, there's things they dream about and aspire for, and we have no idea what those are yet, right? We have to be willing to hear them out and willing to sacrifice ourselves a little bit and sacrifice our ideals of what we thought might be the best. And this also goes with birth plans and, you know, all these things that we come up with, how the pregnancy is going, how your body is responding to your pregnancy, right? There's so many things that we really need to be able to sacrifice to, and then feeling how strong that is, how much power you have as a woman, as a mother, when you sacrifice, right? It's pretty profound. It's really like the deepest amount of power when you give over to your child, right? When you give yourself up to your baby, right? How important that is and how much intensity there holds in that energy, yeah? So you don't have to come into this pose yet, but your arms will be out to the sides, palms will be up, and your head will drop back. And this is the position we will stay in. Yeah, your head doesn't have to drop all the way back. It just needs a little lift of the chest. And it's like you're opening yourself up to receive whatever it is that is coming through, to receive whatever information, whatever love, whatever divinity, whatever messages, anything that is ready to come through to you. You have to drop your ego to let it drop in. Yeah, so we're not going to be here very long, I promise. So go ahead and lift yourself up now. Go ahead and bring those arms, palms up, elbows straight. Head lifts back, eyes are closed, rolled up and in, and just breathe here. Breathe into the blessings that you are willing and open to sacrifice to receive. Knowing that this pose is a sacrifice in itself. Maintaining the solidity of this posture requires so much surrender. Breathe as long and deeply as you possibly can. Keep the chin with a little lift and just let that light, let that energy, let all that love pour directly down into your heart. Telling yourself, I am willing to sacrifice for you. I give myself to your needs, your desires, your wishes. I love myself, I support myself, I nourish myself, but I recognize that you are now demanding more of me than I've ever given, and I'm ready, I'm willing, I am open. I sacrifice with love all that is necessary for you. Breathe. Do your best to maintain this posture. We've only got a little bit longer. We've got just over a minute to go here. Breathe. Let all this love and energy pour through your sacrifice, knowing that on the other end of the sacrifice, there are more blessings, more love, more beauty than you've ever experienced in your life so far. All that is on the other side of your sacrifice. So give yourself over to that. You've got about 30 seconds. Breathe, open up. Let that energy of love sustain your arms, sustain your lift in your chest, sustain that lift in the chin. 20 seconds. Breathe. Open the chest even wider. Last 10 seconds. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And take a full deep inhale. Exhale, relax your arms down, relax your chin back to a neutral position and just sit tall. Feel that inner experience of what is received from that posture, from that sacrifice, that surrender, that strength that you now hold in your heart, that baby now feels coming from you. You're welcome to stay seated in this meditative space for as long as is best for you and baby. When you are ready to rest, go ahead and lay yourself down, relieving your pillow, potentially using your pillow between the knees if you're laying on your left side or right side. If it's still early on and you feel good laying on your back in pregnancy, you can also take your pillow under your knees to support a little bit your low back. Wherever you are, make sure that you feel comfortable, supported, nurtured. And let all that energy, all that sacrifice, all that effort really soak in to you and baby together. Let both of you receive the benefits, the love, the support, the blessings of that work. Bargo devasya dimahi diyo yona prachodaya. Swaha Tatsavitum Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dimahi Diyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitum Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dimahi Diyo Yona Om Bhurбhuvah Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo na Bhurбhuvah Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo na Slowly start to bring some physical sensation back into your body. You wiggle your toes or fingers or take any gentle little stretching movement as feels good. If you are on your back, you can roll over to your side first to settle. And using the strength of your arms, press into the floor to lift yourself back into a comfortable seated position, sitting up tall, chest and heart wide open. Hands begin to press into prayer in front of the heart, singing out the long time sun song for ourselves, for our babies, for this planet, letting ourselves and everybody else that we encounter be completely able to guide themselves from that light, from that heart space. Knowing that if we all lived a more heart-centered life, the world would be a very different place. And we can start with ourselves, start with demonstrating that for our little ones, and let them go on and guide their way from their hearts as well. Big, deep inhale to sing Long Sat Nam at the end. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Singing one more time. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Inhale for Long Sat Nam. Sa. May that essence of Satnam, that authenticity, that truth of who you are, be what guides you forward in all that you do, in all that you give, and all that you receive. Satnam, Namaste.